except Shiva and Soumya. If anybody has not received, let me know. Let us close the issue for once for all. Neeraj.
Hello.
Your name may not be shown here because of number of names already. It's already shown. Once again, I'll share it. Neeraj, you have received or not? Neeraj, did you receive?
Yes, Satish, I received that yesterday.
Right.
Thank you.
Narendra, are you able to hear me now?
Yeah, Satish.
Narendra, are you able to hear me?
Yeah, Satish. Hello.
Everyone is clear with that video access? I'll be uploading the videos to the same Excel sheet. Whatever the Excel sheet you are able to see right now, to the same Excel sheet I'll be uploading. Whatever the Excel sheet you are able to see right now, to the same Excel sheet I'll be uploading. Topic wise, I'll be uploading the videos to the same Excel sheet. I'll keep adding it. You're losing the access because shared with almost 150 people. So Drive is not accepting. So keep on removing the permission for the people. So I'll be sharing the videos on the same sheet. Topic wise, I'll be adding the videos to the same sheet. I'll be adding the videos to the same sheet. So once the topic is completed, I'll keep adding the videos to the same sheet. So access from the sheet. And the passwords will not remain the same. Every week the passwords will change. Already I've written a program at the backend which will change the password every week. If you want to access the videos, you need to go for the Drive access. Right. Materials I told you already. I'm uploading the materials separately. Topic wise, I'm uploading the materials. You can access the materials. This order which groups Visual Force collection. And I will keep uploading the materials. You can access the material from the right. Hope I'm clear. This issue with the email is issue with the materials and videos is solved. I hope I'm issue with the videos and materials is solved. Everyone has an access now. Everyone has an access. If anybody has restored, let me know. If anybody has restored, let me know. Narendra, your email should come to me from front desk. These are the people whom I already know, so I have taken the emails. So your mail ID should come to me from the front desk. They'll be sharing it. Okay, fine. That's all from my end. So we'll start the session. Still, if anybody has any issue with the Drive, let me know. Soumya and Shiva, I'll share after class. After class, I'll be sharing it. Take some time. I'll share after class. Okay. Shiva and Soumya, I will share after class. Once again, I'm asking, still anybody has not received the link or don't have the access, let me know. I can close it. Still, if anybody has not received the link or still if anybody has not received the link, let me know. I can share the link. Let's close the issue for. Let's close the issue. If still anybody is not able to have the access, let me know. Okay, right, chalo. What are the admin videos that I have not shared with you? So, what are the admin videos I have not shared with you? What are the videos? Facebook to Salesforce and Salesforce to Salesforce, right? Those two are the links, right? Work close. So today I will upload to your development account. I will upload the video session. You access the files. Logging service will not be covered again, but radio buttons will be covered. Radio buttons we are going to cover. Logging service will not be covered. Yes. Right. Good. Okay, let us go to the. So in the last session we have seen about the array concepts. Now let us start with the list set map concept. What is the collection and why we want to go for a collection? What is a collection? Why we want to go for a collections? Let us see this. Right. Now, when you already have a concept of arrays, why you want to go for a collections? You already have the concept of arrays. When you have already a concept of arrays, why you want to go for a collections? Now, what is the need of going for a collection when you already have a concept of arrays? Now, look at the point. Now I have a movie theater. I have a movie theater. I have a movie theater. In the movie theater, I have a capacity. I have a movie theater here. The capacity of the movie theater is 500. The capacity of the movie theater is 500. Let us say our Sampunish Babu movie reached. Now, 1,000 people want to watch this movie. Or Sampu movie released. 1,000 people want to watch it. But the capacity of the theater is only 500. I cannot increase the theater. Because the size of the theater is fixed. When the size of the theater is fixed, I will not be able to increase the size. Even more number of people are willing to watch the movie, but still I cannot increase the size of the theater as the size of the theater is fixed. Okay. Now, some XYZ movie came, only 10 people want to watch this movie. But capacity of the theater is 500, only 10 people want to watch it. Still I cannot reduce the size. So what is the drawback of this theater? The size of the theater is fixed. You cannot increase the size of the theater or decrease the size of the theater because the size of the theater is fixed. Neither you can increase or decrease the size of the theater. The same thing happens with the array. When you go to an array, size of an array is fixed. When the size of an array is fixed, I cannot increase the size or decrease the size. I cannot increase the size or decrease the size irrespective of your business requirement. Once I give the size as 500, even if you are storing 10 elements, I will allocate the space for 500 elements. If you want to store 600 members, still I will allocate the size of 500. So what is the problem here? What is the problem? Size cannot be increased or decreased. Size cannot be increased or decreased. This is the drawback of an array. Array size is fixed. You cannot increase or decrease the size of an array. Right, boss? Right. Let us take one more example. Now today I am hosting a dinner for friends. I am hosting a dinner. I invited 100 people for dinner. All of them are boys only. All the boys are invited. If I invite 100 boys for dinner, how many of them will turn? Maybe 50 or 60. Right? Maybe 50 or 60. They need to take the permission from their corresponding wives. So obviously 50 or 60 will come. If I give a party for a dinner party for a girls, if I invite 100 people, how many people will come, boss? Friends also will come. So it will become 1,000 members, boss. Now I invited only 100 people, 1,000 people out. So what is that? In both the cases, I will not be able to account it. In the first case, scarcity case, the wastage of food. The second case, it's a I am expecting only 100, thousands out of them. So as per my business requirement, I will not be able to serve the requirement by decreasing or increasing because the size of the array is fixed. When you say array, size of an array is fixed. We cannot increase or decrease the size. This is the problem. Then the collection topic was introduced. So what is the purpose of the collection? When you say collection, there is no fixed size for this. The size will increase or decrease as per the business requirement. There is no fixed size allocated. When you need, it can increase. When you don't want, it can decrease. When you want, it can increase. When you don't want, it can decrease. What is the purpose of these collections? Collections will help you to increase or decrease the size as per your business requirement. As per the runtime requirement, it can increase the size or decrease the size. What are the topics that we have for the collection? Under the collections, we have list, set, map. What are the topics that we have? List, set, map. List, set, map. These are the three different concepts what we have under collection. So let us go to the first part of the story. I'll just give you an overview first. Then we start with list concept. What is a list? What is a set? What is a map? Now look at the point. When you say list, in the classroom we have a capacity of 160 in this classroom. Now first student came, you are sitting in the first chair. Second student came, sitting in the second chair. So the order in which the students are coming into the classroom, in the same order they are sitting. So what is that called? Order of insertion is maintained. Order of insertion is maintained. The order in which you are coming, in the same order you are sitting. Now, the order in which you are coming into the classroom, in the same order if you sit in the classroom, I know who has come first, who has came next. Right? The next turn. If the student wants, he can occupy more than one chair. So what is that? Duplicates are accepted. You can occupy the first chair, again you go back, come and occupy the fourth chair, again you go back, come and occupy the sixth chair. Same person occupied 3 chairs. Duplicates are accepted. List will maintain insertion order. The order in which you are coming, in the same order you are stored in the memory. The next duplicates are accepted. Now when I go to the set, it is the ideal condition. But what happens practically? When the students are coming to the classroom, will they sit in the same order? First person, first chair, second person, second chair? No. According to the Kundali, according to the Jyotish Shastra, your particular chair will be there for you. So when you come, you will occupy that chair. Now what is that? You will not be following the order in which you are coming. Am I right? So whichever is the comfortable position to you, you occupy that particular chair. Right? So if you occupy the chairs like that, will I be able to tell you who has come first? Which student has come first into the classroom? No, because you are not maintaining the order of insertion. The order in which you are coming, the order in which you are occupying, both are not same. Both are not same. So insertion order is not maintained. Set will not maintain insertion order. Now, when the insertion order is not maintained, you cannot occupy the duplicate. One person, only one chair. You cannot occupy the second chair. So what is that? Set will not accept duplicates. List will accept duplicates. Set will not accept duplicate. List will maintain insertion order. Set will not maintain insertion order. Okay. The next, we have a third concept. What is that? Map. Now, list and set are very much suitable for storing the data. But if you want to retrieve the data, if you want to retrieve the data, how will you retrieve? Students are sitting in this room. I want to say Sham. I want to find out where is Sham. Then what I will do? I will come to the first chair. Are you Sham? No. Second person. Sham? No. Third person. Sham? No. Fourth person. Like that, I have to check each and every guy. Then I have to find out is Sham. Because people are sitting in the room. If I want to find out a particular person called Sham, how do I find out? Verifying every student. 1, 2, 3, 4. Instead of this, we are going for a concept called map. What was that map? In your mobile phone, you are storing your phone numbers, right? Without name, if you store only phone numbers, what will happen? Without name, you have stored only phone numbers. Now I want to make a call to Faraz. If I want to make a call to Faraz, what should I do? Make a call to first number. Are you Faraz? No. So make a call to second person. Faraz? No. Third person. Like that, I keep on calling till I get Faraz. Because only phone numbers are there with me. Their names are not there with me. Am I right? This is called a list concept. List is what? Storing the list of values. Set is what? Storing the set of values. But if you want to retrieve, I will search each and every element to find out is it my element or not. Then we are going for what? Map. When you go to the map, what is a map? In the mobile, phone number, name of the person followed by phone number. Name, phone number. Name, phone number. If I want to make a call to Faraz, what I will do? Search based on the name Faraz, then we get the corresponding phone number. What is that? It is easy for me to search. It is easy for me to search. Like your textbook, I ask you, open the list concept. When I ask you to open the list concept, what will you do? You have a running note, right? Now in the running notes, I ask you to open list concept. What will you do? Every page you rotate. Where is the list concept? Now if you open the textbook, index and name. What is the advantage of it? Simply search where is the list, find out the page number, go to the page number. But in your running notes, if you want to search the list, what will you do? You are not given any index for your running notes, right? So if you have to search, what will you do? Open every page, check whether it is list or not. Which is easy for you? Which is easy? Your textbook is easy. But what is the advantage of running notes? No need to search in which page I have to write. Open the last page, write your notes. So while you are inserting the new elements, easy for you. Open the last page, write whatever you want. Come to next class, open the last page, write whatever you want. So what are you doing? Inserting the new values. If you are inserting the new values, it is very easy for you. List and set are very suitable to you when you want to insert or delete the elements. If you want to retrieve, if you want to search, then collections of map is very suitable. So as per the business requirement, you have to decide whether you want a list or a set or a map. We will see them in detail now. I hope you got the idea. What is the purpose of a collection? It can increase or decrease the size as per the business requirement. Second, Salesforce has provided so many predefined functionalities on them to operate the values in the list or a set or a map. In the array, we don't have any predefined functions. We don't have any predefined methods. Everything we have to manually order it. If I want to sort the elements in the array, what will you do? You have to write your own logic. If I want to, delete the element from the array, I have to write my own logic. But if you go to the list or set or a map, there are some predefined functions and methods available. Using those methods and functions, we can easily operate the list or a set or a map. Is that what's clear for everyone? Is that what's clear for everyone? Okay. Now let us go to the next part. Let us go to the next part. We are trying to start with the list concept. What is a list and why we use list? Now, in the Salesforce, first I'll apply what is a list concept. List is a hard copies are given to you. Right, hard copies are given to you, right? Then listen to the content. We'll start with a list. What is a list? List is a collection of similar elements. What is a list? List is a collection of similar elements. List is a collection of similar elements. List is a collection of similar elements. All the elements in the list should be either integer or decimal or float or account or contact. All the elements should be similar elements. Elements in the list should be same. It is a collection of similar elements. The size of the list can grow or decrease based on runtime requirement. Size of the list can grow or decrease based on the runtime requirement. I can increase or I can decrease the size. Elements in the list are referred using index. Elements in the list are referred using index. Index value will start with 0. Index value will start with 0. Index value will start with 0. List is a collection of similar elements where the size of the list can grow or decrease based on runtime requirement. Elements in the list are referred using index. Index value will start with 0. Then we have list will accept duplicate values. List will accept duplicate values. Then list will maintain insertion order. Insertion order means order in which we have inserted in the same order the elements are stored. Once again I repeat, list is a collection of similar elements where size of the list can grow or decrease based on runtime requirement. Elements in the list are referred using index. Index value will start with 0. List will accept duplicate values only. List will maintain insertion order. Right. The underlying data structure. This for only additional knowledge. Underlying data structure. Underlying data structure is double linked list. The underlying data structure is a double linked list. Probably when you see data structure, right? Linked list, single linked list, double linked list. So this is developed using a concept of double linked list. Okay. This is only for the sake of additional information. At the back end, the concept used is double linked list. Okay. Now let us go to the next concept. How do you define the list? And how do you define the list? Look at the point. To work with the list, we have Salesforce has a predefined Apex class. Apex class list. Salesforce has provided predefined Apex class. One of the classes developed by the Salesforce with a name called list. And this class has so many methods. This class has predefined methods. This class has predefined methods to operate on. So if you want to implement a concept of list in the Salesforce, we have a predefined Apex class called list. List is a class name. List is a concept which is implemented by the Salesforce using a class called list. Okay. How do you define? How do you define syntax? Look at the point. List of data type list name equal to new list of data type. Or else I can also create a list of data type. List name equal to new list of data type. I can define any one of these. We can use any one of these three formats. These are the three formats in which I can define the list. We'll do the first one. Let us start with the first. Now tell me whether list is a primitive variable or reference variable. Whether list is a primitive or reference. Why reference? We are using a keyword called new. If you are using a keyword called new to allocate the memory, obviously it is going to be what? Reference variable. Okay. Now look at the example. Look at the example, everyone. I am trying to create list of integer. What is the value of that ages? What is the value of that ages? What is the value of that ages? You will say reference variable, memory is not allocated, then obviously it is going to be what? Null. If reference variables are not referring to any memory, it is going to refer to null. If reference variables are not going to refer to any memory, then it is going to refer to null. List of contacts. Right. Then we have next. How do you allocate the memory? List of integer. Age is equal to list of string. Name is equal to new list of accounts. Now is it null or empty? Is it null or empty? It is empty. Memory is allocated, but there are no values. In this case, what are they? They are null. Memory is not there, so they are called null. What is the value of this? Null. What is the value of this? Null. But when you look at this, in this case, it is not null. It is what? Empty. Memory is allocated, but there are no values in the memory. Memory is allocated, but there are no values in the memory, so they are called empty. Right, ma? People are clear? Everyone is clear? Now create a list. Create a list of opportunity. 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 Everyone make an attempt of writing list of opportunity. Create a list of opportunity. Create a list of opportunity. List of opportunity. How do you write? List of opportunity of t equal to new list of opportunity. Create a list of cases. Create a list of cases. Create a list of cases. List of cases. Create a list of cases. Create a list of cases. Create a list of cases. So, create a list of customer. Is a customer is a standard object or a custom object? Is a customer is a standard object or a custom object? It is a custom object. If it is a custom object, how do you refer? Underscore C. Is equal to the list variable name cases C equal to new. So how are you going to define list of customer underscore C customers equal to new list of customer. Case from cases. Right about? People are clear? People are clear? Am I clear? Okay. So let us see. We are creating list of elements. List of elements. How are you defining? When you want to create a list of opportunities. When you want to create a list of opportunities. List of opportunities. Of the list equal to list of opportunities. List of case. New list of cases. List of customer. What is a customer? Customer is a custom object equal to new list of People are clear? This is how we are defining the list. We are going for the next concept, static allocation. What do you mean by static allocation? At the time of creating the list only, we are assigning the values. If you try to assign the values at the time of creating the list, we call it as static allocation of values. Look at the point. List of integer age is equal to new list of integer lower bracket 10, 20, 30, 40. Allocating the values for the list at the time of creating the list only. Then internally how they are stored? When is a list, they are stored like this. I told you, elements in the list are referred using what? Elements in the list are referred using index. Now, is almost like a array only. List and array almost same. The only thing is, array cannot grow, list can grow. Otherwise, the same to same. Otherwise, same to same. So, it is called as what? Static allocation. Allocating the values at the time of creating the list only. It is called as static allocation. Let me take one more example. List of city names I want to take. String or this names. New list of it is a list of elements. So how they are internally stored? Again, elements in the list are stored. This is how we have treated. Am I clear with this format? This is called as what? Static allocation. This is called as static allocation. Am I clear with this? People have followed this? Okay. Now, let us do some examples. Examples. Create a list. Create a list to store city names and assign the values. Create a list to store city names and assign the values statically. Online people also make an attempt of writing the code. Make an attempt of writing the code. Post it in the charter. I'll apply it. Attempt of writing a code. Post it in the charter. Online people also make an attempt of writing the code. Post it in the charter. Okay. Now, create a list to store city names. City names are going to be in which format? The city names are going to be in which format? String format. So, how do you write it? List of, you're going to get list of string city is equal to new list of string. This is how we have treated. Right, boss? Let us go to the next one. Create a list to store account names. Create a list to store account names and insert the values. Create a list to store account names and insert the values. Create a list to store. Once your value should be single quote. List of string when you're giving, it should not be double quote, it should be a single quote. You're writing a double quotes, it should be a single quote. String should be represented with single quotes here. It should be single quote, not double quotes. Right. Now write a list to store account names and insert the value. Account names are going to be which format? Account names. Account means what? Any company or a person with whom you are doing a business. Your distributor, you're a customer, your company is called an account. Account names are going to be Wipro, TCS, Reddy Labs, right? Your distributor names. So all of them are going to be string. So how do you define the values? List of string account name is equal to now next. We have the next one. Create a list to store account IDs. Create a list to store account IDs. Create a list to store account IDs. When you say account ID, what do you mean by that? When you store account ID, it means, when you say account ID, it means 18 character ID of the account. 18 character ID of the account. How can you store the IDs? In the Salesforce, we have a predefined data type called ID. What it is going to store? 18 character ID of the record. Create a list to store list of user IDs. Create a list to store list of user IDs. Create a list to store list of user IDs. So user IDs are nothing but, again, is ID. So this is how we are creating the list. With, I hope I am clear with the basic syntax. Okay. Now let us go to the methods which are available in the list. We'll start with the methods. First method. Add. What is the purpose of add? When you say add, this will add new element at the end of the list, at the last position of the list. Where is the new element added? In the last position. The element is going to be added in the last position. It is to add a new element to the list. Add is used to add a new element to the list. Let me give you example. Let me give you list of integer age is equal to new list of integer. What I'm doing, ages dot. What is that ages? What is that ages? Is a list. List is what? A group of integer value. Ages is what? Group of integer value. Are there any elements in the ages now? There are 0 elements. We are adding the first element. Ages dot add. Ages dot add. Ages dot add. Ages dot add. Now I have added 4 elements. Did I insert a duplicate element? Now I want to print the values. System dot list of integer age is equal to new list of integer. What I'm doing? Add 10, 20, 30, 30. Execute this. What is the values we received? 10, 20, 30, 30. Order in which I inserted is the same order is maintained. 10, 20, 30, 30. Is the duplicate values are accepted? Yes. Duplicate values are accepted. List accept the duplicate value. Order of insertion is maintained. Is that what's clear? Am I clear? Okay. One more example I will take it. List of string city is equal to new list of cities. What I'm taking, cities dot add Hyderabad, and I'm trying to print the value. System dot debug. Go back to the format. Hyderabad, Bangalore, Chennai, and Chennai. Is that was clear for everyone? Add the element at particular position. Add the element at last position. When you say add the element at last position. Is that was clear for everyone? Yeah, expecting you. Pardon me? Yes, data type is it can be anything, no? It can be anything. Right. So people are clear with this add method. People are clear with this add method. So let us do one use case. I have a page here. I have a page. I have a page. I'm giving here account name. I have a button called right. Now I'm going to enter name called Satish Education. The data should be displayed at the bottom in a page block. In a page block, the data should be displayed. How the data should be displayed? One name. If you enter Satish and Education, value should be printed here. Satish. Then I clicked on, then I entered Ravi Education. When I click on Ravi and Education, when I click on add, it should be added to. So when I'm going to enter the data, click on add, it is going to add to the list. So initially, how many elements are there in the list? 0 elements are there. So once I enter the data in the UI, click on add, the elements are getting added to the list. Again, I entered G energy. Click on add this element to. This is my requirement. I hope you are clear with this requirement. Now I'm going to take the values, whatever the values that you are entering in the page, with the same values, I'm going to create one account and add that account to list of accounts. Are you clear about this? When you click on add, create one account record, add that account record to the list of accounts, display them in the Visual Force page. This is my requirement. Let us build this requirement. Requirement is clear? Is the requirement is clear? You are going to enter the data. Based on the data what you entered, I want to create one account record and add the account record to the list of account records. Same page. List example 1. So what I want to do, public list of accounts. Public list of accounts. Public string then I had public list example. Now what is the value of ACCS? Null. So first what should I do? Allocate the memory for then I have created public void then what I'm doing based on the data what you entered account a dot name equal to name a dot industry equal to then add the elements to the list. How do you add the elements to the list? ACCS dot add. So whenever you click on add, what I'm doing with the data what is available in the name and industry, I am creating one account record and account record I'm adding. Why I'm adding account record? Because it's a list of account. Am I clear with this? Right? Okay. Let's go to this. So I'm going with form, age block, title, account. If you want to create a buttons, how should I create? Age block, buttons, location equal to top. Then I have effects, value equal to add, action equal to then I'm creating effects. When you click on this page block section, the page block section, should I go with page block section item? Why should I go for page block section item? Because there are two elements. What are the two elements? Label and text. Output label value equal to say name, input text value equal to similarly we have one more section item, industry. Till here we created. What is the next one that we need to do? We want to display a list of elements. How do you display a list of elements? Using a page block table. When you want to display a list of elements, it should be a page block table. Apex page block table. Mode equal to. What is the purpose of mode equal to main detail? What is the purpose of mode equal to main detail? Don't display with the background color. Table value equal to what is the name of the list? What is the name of the list? ACCS. Var equal to A. Column value equal to A dot name. What is the next one? Column value equal to. But this page block should be displayed when there are elements in the list. If there are no elements in the list, don't display. What I'm doing? Render this when ACCS dot size is greater than. When there are elements in the list, then only do it. I told re-render. What is the purpose of re-render? Refresh. When I click on the button, refresh. I don't want to refresh entire page. Only the form I want to refresh. Go back to this. So whenever I'm creating, add whatever the data I'm entering, with the data I'm creating a new page block table. Right, boss? The data what you entered, using the data, I created a account record. Whatever the data you entered, using the data, I created one account record, added the account record to what? List of elements. Added the account record to list of elements. Is that was clear? Everyone is clear with this? Clear for everyone? And element is going to be added at which position? Last position. Element is going to be added at which position? Last position. I hope I am clear. Clear for everyone? Now let's go to the next one. This is for add. Next method what we have is add index. Don't add the new element at the last position. Add the new element at a given position. Generally, when you say add, new element will be added at what position? Last position. Don't add me the element at last position. Add the element at the given index. Let me give an example. The purpose, this method will add new element at the given index. Look at this example. List of integer age is equal to new list of. When I say add 10, 20, 30, how the elements are stored? The elements are going to be stored in this form of this is how the elements are stored in the list. Now I want to say always the element is added at the last position. Now I am giving ages dot add 1 comma. So add a 90 element at what position? First index 1. Index 1, not first position, index first. Index 1. What happened? The remaining elements are going to be moved to the right hand side. So we have next ages dot add 2 comma 8. Will say add a 2 comma 80 at the second position, add the element called 8. At second position, the index will be added. This is how the elements are added. Index, comma, element. Add the element at the given index. Generally, what will happen? Element will be added at the last position, but you want to add the element at a particular position. Then I'm going to give add index, comma, element. When you told 1 comma 90, at one position, keep 90. Move the remaining elements to the right hand side. When is the 2 comma 80, at the second position, keep 80. Move the elements to the right hand side. Is that was clear? Clear for everyone? Add index, comma, element. Put the element at the given index. Put the element at the given index. Okay. Let me print the values. We have 10, 90, 80, 20, 30. Same block we got here. 10, 90, 80, 20, 30. Is that was clear? Adding the element at given index. Add the element at given index. And your index cannot be more than the size of the list. Your index cannot be more than the size of the list. Now let us see. Index should be less than the size. Is that was clear? Okay. Now let me show the same example here. Same program I'm giving here. Public void add index. Here I'm taking index at integer. I'm taking index equal to, I'm taking a fixed index. What I'm doing here, whenever you call account A equal to add index comma A. So whenever I call this method, always the new element is going to be added at first position. Always the new element is going to be added at first position. I'm going to create add index. Add the new element at first position. So after entering the data, why don't we reset the value as blank? Because every time I'm deleting and entering the data, right? Once you click on add, element is added to the list, the removes value should be removed from the input text. How do you remove the values from the input text? Name equal to null. So once the element is added to the list, the values in the box are going to be removed. Now, add the element at index. Let's say add index, add the element at the first position. So what we are getting? The pro capital TCS. Add the element at first position. So Wipro ID is read capital TCS. Is that was clear? We are adding the new element at a given index. I have taken the index as 1. So always the new element is getting added at index 1. Is that was clear? Add index. Add index. Add the element at a particular index. Similarly, let us go to the next one. We have next one as put. I will say not put. I will say clear. What is the purpose of clear? This will remove all the elements from the list. This will remove all the elements from the list. Look at the format. Example. Clear is for what? Removing all the elements from the list. List of integer. Age is equal to new list of integer. I'm giving a static value 10, 20. Let me give system.debug. Then I told age is not clear. So before deletion, after deletion, when you say clear. So we have 10, 20, 30, 40. When I say clear, all the elements from the list are clear. Clear means remove every element from the list. Clear. It is going to remove every element from the list. So let us expand the same example. I'm going to create one more method. What is the method? Public void. When I say clear, what we are going to do? AJCS dot remove all the elements from the ACCS. So go back to this. Forgot to add a button. So we are applying remove all the elements are removed from the list. Right. Similarly, we want to sort the elements. The values are coming. What all the values are there in the list? I want to sort those values. If you want to sort the values, I'll go for sort the values. I want to sort. In which order the elements are going to be sorted? In the alphabetical order, ascending order. Sort. What is the purpose? This method will sort all the elements in the list, the ascending order. It will sort all the elements in the ascending order. If I give list of integer, age is equal to list of integer, age dot sort. Then I'm going to give system dot debug. We're going to have the same thing if I take alphabetically. String would have you know, it's not solved. One is numerical value, other one is alphabetical. Sort the values. Sort the values in the ascending order. We have 20, 30, 80, 90, Bangalore, Chennai, Hyderabad. Alphabetical order and is ascending order. Are clear about this? Now, how about this list of S object? They are list of string, they are list of integer, you have done. What if they are list of S objects? They are list of integer. So integer values are sorted incremental order. Alphabets, they are sorted in the alphabetical order. What about the list of records? There is a list of record, it has so many fields. In which order they are going to be sorted? There is apply public void if you apply sort on list of record. Is that was clear for everyone? Everyone followed? Right? If you are applying a sort on list of S object, how they will be sorted? Generally, they will be sorted based on name field. Will be sorted in. So before code is okay. 5 minutes, I'll just find out the topic. Let us see the sort method, madam. Yeah.